Welcome back to my channel. It is Lydia, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 things I wish I knew before I bought my house. First things first, the house that I bought is a 2-bedroom house. It cost me £245,000. I put down a £70,000 deposit. Don't even ask me how. Okay, I have a very well-paid job, which is being a content creator, as you see this video, and I bought the house all by myself as a self-employed creative. So that's all of the stats. So let's get straight into the bits that I wish somebody done told me before I bought this house. Number one, expect delays. So everything takes long. Not only do you need to think about if there's a chain in terms of when you're buying a house. So when they say a chain, they're referring to when you're selling a house, maybe the person who's buying your house is probably selling their house, and that person is probably selling their house. So as you can see, you quickly get into a chain of several people buying and selling houses. And depending on where you are in a chain, it can just drag out so long. But not only just that, when I was buying my house, it was just me and the seller. There was no chain, and it still dragged on forever. So please go into this knowing that you need a hell load of patience, peace, calmness. You need that. Number two, make sure that you redirect your mail. So if you're living at a previous address and you move into your new house, you want to make sure that any old bills, any old letters, any old packages, anything at all is being redirected to your new address. You can do that with your postal service. I know for us here in the UK, Royal Mail, which is the postal service that we have, Royal Mail can redirect your mail for 3 months, 6 months, however long you need them to do that. You can ask them to do. I think I did mine for like 3 months, so that way any mail, you don't miss it at all, because you could be missing any important bills, you could be missing, who knows, whatever it may be. Redirect your mail. Number three, be realistic as to which mortgage rate you're going to go with. So I have a 2 years fixed term mortgage rather. And so that means that my rate is not going to change for the next 2 years. However, I actually got a chance to pick it. My broker gave us all these different options. I had like a cheaper one, a middle one, and then I had a kind of expensive one also. But for me, I had to think about this in a very realistic way. As you guys know, I'm a content creator. I create content here on YouTube and online, and that can be a very lucrative job. But thank God, for me, it's been very lucrative. Despite that, I did not want to just go for the most expensive option just because I can afford it now. I had to think realistically. So it was important for me that if I was to stop creating content online and just get a standard 9-to-5 job, my mortgage had to be something that I could actually afford, as well as still afford transport, living costs. So I made sure that the mortgage rate that I picked was one that I could definitely afford, and it not depending on what my circumstances are right now, but more of a long-term thing. But of course, after 2 years, I know that I'm gonna have to remortgage. I don't even know, like, how am I speaking about remortgaging? That feels all very adult. So I've lived in this house for about 10 months. So in about a year and 2 months, I'm going to have to remortgage. And at that time, I'm going to go for a rate that, again, is something that I can afford regardless of me being a content creator or not. So make sure that you don't cut your cloth a lot bigger than what you can afford, or whatever the hell that our sayings, our mom saying. Just make sure that you cut your cloth according to your size. Tip number 4 applies to those who are buying a place that needs some renovation. If you're buying a fixer-upper, kind of like I did, then I suggest that you make friends with somebody at your local council, because they will be, oh my God, the council can be such ops. Like, they can literally drag things, take so long to respond, take so long to do things. But if you have a friend, or if you have somebody, when I say friend, I mean just be friendly, be extra friendly to people that you speak to at the council. I had a girl, a connect, who was so good. Like, I even had her direct dial, her little extension, so I could just call her and she would literally sort things out for me like that. Otherwise, things take so long, and there's so many back and forth. So if you can somehow, some way, try and like make friends with somebody at the council. When I say make friends, I've never met this lady like ever at all, but I was just super extra friendly, and I just always made sure that I was personable. I was like, girl, listen, I'm 28. I just bought this house. I have no idea what I'm doing. Please help me. And she was just such a lovely lady. Like, she really took her time, and she literally emailed, she even emailed me to check in on me when they normally don't even need to do that. So the tip is to be extra extra nice to those people at the council, because literally they could save you so much time. If you guys have watched my renovation series, you know that I bought this house as a fixer-upper, okay? The walls were green, the bathroom was hideous, and the lounge wasn't an open plan space, so I needed to get this wall taken down, and that was literally one of the biggest headaches. And it's something that, actually, I'm gonna say it's so simple, but it actually isn't. It requires a lot of engineering, and it requires a lot of back and forths with the council. But that lady she was riding for me the whole time. And I haven't even seen anybody talking about that, but massive pro tip. Number 5 is one I've heard many a time, but people always say that you should sort out your internet before you move. But I have one more to add to that. Before you even buy your house, I really highly suggest that you look at the area that you're about to buy in and then call up any internet providers and see how much they provide in that area and what speeds they provide in that area. So I say that because for me as a content creator, having super fast Wi-Fi it's mandatory. It's not even a luxury, it's mandatory. Otherwise, I'm not able to do my job to the best of my ability. So I kind of wish that I had checked what the internet speeds are here, or what even internet providers are available here, because my partner, his internet, oh my God, it must have crack in it, because that is fast. It is so fast. And then compared to mine, my internet, I'm gonna put all the stats on the side. My internet is fast, but it's nothing compared to the crack that he has. I want the crack of the internet, okay? So if the internet is something that's important for you, your work, your role, then absolutely, before you even buy the house, call up providers and check, hey, do you supply here? Hey, do you supply here? Do you supply here? Yes, no. And if they don't currently supply internet in that area, ask them, when will you be? Are you planning on doing that anytime? Is it 1 year, 2 year? These are things that are very important. At least for me, that was very important. And then second point to that, like a 5B, is make sure that you organize your internet way before you move into your new house. Because I moved into the property and then I tried to set up my internet, and not only did they need to disconnect the old internet provider who was here, I then had to wait some time, and then they had to then reconnect my internet, and that whole process took about like a month and a half. Call up a provider and get them to try fixing your line before you even move in. Otherwise, you're gonna be internetless for a while. And depending on what work you do, that might not be the best thing for you. Number 6, this one, I have said it before, but I'll say it again. Measure everything, measure it again, measure it the 3rd time, and get another professional to help you measure it for the 4th time, because I wish I had done that. I would have saved so much money, especially in regards to ordering flooring or in regards to ordering tiles for your bathroom. Make sure that you triple check and double check the measurements, and don't just go by the ones that the estate agents give you, because those, honestly, ironically, they weren't perfect. They were off. I don't know how the measurements that the estate agent gave me were off, but they were off. So get somebody to come and measure the house, measure it twice, so that you know if you want to order your sofa beforehand, you know exactly what size your sofa should be. If you want to order any other furniture, though I'd suggest you should hold on buying furniture before you actually move in, because you need to get a feel of the space, and buy things slowly, but make sure that you measure it. So then at least you can pre-order your sofa. That's another thing, pre-order your sofa. That's a 5C. Pre-order your sofa if you can, if you know what sofa you want. So sofas are notoriously known to take weeks upon weeks to deliver. So if you can get your house measured, you can then order your sofa as soon as you turn the key to that house, and then that way it doesn't take you even more time waiting. Because if you guys watch my vlogs, if you watch my weekly vlogs, you know that it took us many months, several months, waiting for this sofa to arrive, but it's finally here, so now I can sit and I can really enjoy it. Tip number 7, I would highly recommend that you have a separate bank account for your bills and automate your bills to come out from that bank account. I'm talking any single bill that's to do with the house, mortgage, council tax, electricity, bills, any bill that you might have that's attached to your house. If you can open a separate bank account, please do that and have them automatically coming from there, because that will just give you a peace of mind. Not only does it help me personally in a way that I can just quickly log into that account and just visually see the money that I have in there and know that, okay, I'm good. Like, the bills, they're not gonna bounce. Not for the next like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, however long you need to make it for. praise God. But if you can, please separate your bills. It just gives you a peace of mind, as opposed to having it in your normal debit account where you're doing transactions left, right, center, pretty little thing, a little cheeky holiday, flights. Next thing you know, your mortgage is bounced. Don't do that. Be a wise babe and make sure that if you can, open a separate bank account for your bills. Tip number 8 is to have a good understanding of all of the insurances that are available and which ones you should utilize and which ones maybe you don't need to have. So when you're buying a house, you absolutely have to have building insurance. In fact, they won't even sign over or give you the keys until you make sure that your insurance is in place. And that is just to make sure that the bank is protecting their asset, because remember, when you're buying a house, you're just inheriting a giant loan. Woohoo! Debt, mortgage, woohoo! Adulting, bills. Love it. So the banks want to make sure that they have their investment, which is your house, protected. And so building insurance does that, and building insurance covers you against, like, if the house was to fall down, if it was to go up in flames, God forbid, the building insurance would cover that. But separate to that, there's other insurances such as contents insurance, life insurance, indemnity insurance, mortgage payment protection insurance, critical illness insurance. These are all different types of insurances that you may need depending on what your circumstances are. Personally, I have life and critical illness insurance. So the reason why I have that is because life insurance is obviously, if I was to die, then the bank, God forbid, then the bank would then take over and basically look after that mortgage, and it doesn't fall on any relatives or such. And then critical illness, that's so important. For whatever reason, if you fall ill and you're unable to work, who's gonna pay the mortgage? Who's gonna pay the bills? If you have children, who's gonna pay for the childcare? Critical illness, depending again on which cover you pay for, will cover that for you, and it will help you pay those things. Insurance is great. It really bugs me when people don't have insurance, because it's like you could have literally saved yourself so much money and so much headache, and they're not even that expensive. So I've got here what I'm paying for my life and critical insurance, and that over a 25-year term, which is covered against 173,300, which is the balance of the house that I haven't paid, of course, because obviously when you buy a house, unless you're buying it directly, fully in cash, you owe the bank the remainder, hence why you pay a mortgage each month. So it's covered against the amount of £173,300, and the premium that I pay per month is £23.27. That's nothing. That's less than a takeaway. My takeaways be costing, let's start at 40. Because I need a side and a dessert. So for less than what it costs you to have a nice takeaway, you can literally have critical illness and life insurance, which is so important. So make sure that you do a little bit of reading, find out what insurances you need. I also have contents insurance, which is like for anything that's in my house that's worth of a certain value, so that if I was to have any theft, or I was to have whatever, a flood or a fire, then those objects would be protected. So look out for whatever insurances are there and make sure that you take the ones that apply to you. So number 9, guys, before I say number 9, if you're enjoying this video, if you found anything that I've said so far interesting, engaging, thought-provoking, please make sure that you hit that like button. It really helps me understand what kind of videos you guys enjoy, what kind of videos I should create more of. So please do hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Hell, come on, come join the babes, come over. So number 9, make sure that you know when the bin collection dates are for the area that you moved in. So I moved in a completely different area that I've never lived in before, and I did not know when the rubbish is taken, when it's collected, when it's not collected, what days are collected, which ones, which bin goes where. If you watch my vlogs, you know that I was confused. So I don't know. I think this is something that you could probably find out from the estate agent, or better yet, before the person who's moving out of the house that you're buying, just ask them. Very simple. It takes no time, and they'll just tell you Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, whatever day it is, literally, as opposed to you moving into your house, having rubbish and not having a clue where they collect it from, when they come to collect it, when they collect certain things, what they don't collect, what you shouldn't put in certain bins. Find out all that detail. It's a very small thing that you can find out very quickly, but also it's a very small thing that can cause you a lot of trouble if you don't find out exactly when it is that your bins get collected. I don't know what this looks like in other countries, but for us in the UK, this is what you gotta find out. Finally, number 10, I'm gonna say that this one is to be realistic and be patient. And again, this sounds similar to one of the tips that I shared before, but more specifically, be realistic with the kind of things that you want to furnish your house with and how much it's going to cost. Furniture is so expensive. Make sure that you have an entire separate budget for your furniture. Obviously, depending on how you want to furnish your house and whether you're happy to go to somewhere budget like IKEA, where you can get quick, cheap, fast furniture, but that may not necessarily last you the longest. But if you're fine with that, girl, go to IKEA and save your coin. But if you're somebody who wants to get a little bit more exclusive pieces, you know, want to get this from here, you want to get that from there, make sure that you save, and save a lot. Save double whatever you think you need to save, because furniture is expensive and furniture takes so long to deliver. So make sure that you have a good amount set aside and saved for the furniture that you want. And then that way, if the furniture takes a long time to come, at least you know that you're waiting for a piece that you're absolutely going to love when it arrives, as opposed to just buying quick things here that might not last you a long time and you don't necessarily even love them that much. But again, this is all very personal choice based. So I hope you guys enjoyed these tips. If you learned something new, please be sure to let me know in the comments. Again, this is all based on my experience of buying a house in the UK, and I hope that you guys find these tips useful, encouraging, motivating, whatever the word is, insert it here. And please be sure to like the video if you enjoy it, because it really does help me understand the kind of content I should create more of. So until next time guys, I shall see you in my next video. Bye guys.